the greatest moment in scientific history.
Howdy, folks. Come on in.
Futurama always has a pretty big season finale. I've never got to direct one before, so it was really exciting to be able to do this one, and especially when I heard it was going to be the 3 different styles of animation. To me, this episode is a great example of why Futurama is so popular with its fans. It's taken 3 different formats, it's putting the characters in there, it's really embracing what if this show were done in those formats. Each one hits the ground running, there's no explanation. You're just shown it, and here's the story, and the audience is expected to keep up, and they can, because they're geniuses. For the Colorama section, we, of course, looked to the old Fleischer cartoons, the early Mickey Mouse cartoons.
3, 2.
Hello? Cuckoo!
The key moment is Fry's invention of a new color, but the Colorama sequence is in black and white, and it's a little more challenging. One of the biggest challenges in that section was to do the bobbing and make it look good.
That's for sure. Not on the measly salary I steal from you each month.
It's easy to do in an animatic, you draw 2 poses, but to animate that and then add acting into it, it can get really challenging.
You know what your problem is? Too much smoke in your face.
For a long time, Matt Groening and I have both said we would love to be able to put in one of those 3D turntable shots that Max Fleischer used to do. When I saw this script, it wasn't written into it, but I said, you know, when Fry's walking on the comet, that's where I want to do it. So when I gave him the animatic, that scene was longer than it would normally be, and I said, leave this scene long, because that's what I want to do. So our 3D department modeled a wedge-shaped turntable, just like those guys used to build physically, and they modeled this wedge, they animated it. We put Fry's 2D animation on a virtual platen, not a real one. So the model turned this way while he walked, and it came out really great. The video game one was, again, one I was really looking forward to. We early on decided that the screen for that would be 320 pixels wide by 180 pixels wide, whereas our show is normally 1900 pixels. I literally worked on a screen that was 320 pixels wide, and I used a Photoshop paintbrush that was 1 pixel, and I drew those characters. Most of them about 16 pixels tall, which really limits what you can do. You have to just, you know, do what you can to get a convincing character. The general reference was just early low-resolution video games, which, if you look at our show, it's not exactly that, because we still had to serve the drama of the show, and there's close-ups.
Hey, I'm gonna try that.
So there's a general reference, and then there are specific things, like you'll see Dig Dug and Tempest, a little Super Mario, stuff like that.
So long, meatbags. Son of a...
The movement is very funny on them. They're very simple cycles as they pan around. They're jumping over barrels, they're, you know, doing a lot of video game reference stuff that's funnier than full animation. I think the way we designed it adds immensely to the comedy. As soon as the scene pops on and those characters walk out, you start smiling, because they're really cool looking.
Wait, there are no more questions left to answer. Hooray!
Action delivery force, assemble!
The anime show is visually really exciting.
And me, Mighty Merchandise Robot.
The reference was that Voltron Transformers era, but, you know, you'll see Amy as kind of a Sailor Moon character. To me, the biggest reference was just in the animation style, the way characters talk in paragraphs instead of words. Their mouths don't just move fast, they just kind of move in a random I-E-oo, 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 like that. That just covers about the same length as whatever sentence they're saying. The design of the main characters, there was a lot of reference in the scripts, and then we drew from various anime shows. You know, Fry, of course, with the big hair. Amy, Sailor Moon, of course. Hermes, you know, the trench coat and everything. And the professor kind of wound up similar to Hermes, but he's kind of Matrix-y looking. Leela, you know, it's Leela, taller, bigger hair, just as big of an eye. Bender he's pretty much Bender with a lot more flair. and a lot more swagger. In the show, he's Mighty Merchandise Robot, which is really cool.
Of course! Having no mouths or ears, they could only communicate through motions.
Or perhaps by odors.
That is how you communicate.
The other thing in the anime that to me stands out are the backgrounds. The backgrounds are all redesigned. They're bigger, they're more awkward, and then if you look at them, they're painted. Our Photoshop guy, Patrick, went over all of those and made them look like they were hand-painted. I think they're gorgeous.
Of course, I will do the peace dance, but I will need help.
Super Dance Squad, initiate!
The biggest smile on my face comes when Bender and Fry start doing their choreographed dance number. Those great panning backgrounds and the way they rotate. They actually have some nice dance poses, but you know, they pop from one to the next, but they're doing really well. Way better than Zoidberg. But it wasn't what the aliens wanted. I should say my favorite act is the black and white one. It's the origin of my industry, my art form, but to me, the anime is just, it's solid, start to finish.
Action delivery, 4-star hero rocket engage!